I want you guys to know that when I created this garage gym, I didn't do it with my own out-of-pocket money. I didn't dip into my savings account. I didn't save up for 6 months to be able to do this. What I did was, my most popular videos here on this YouTube channel happened to be when I was showcasing my garage gym. Now the problem is garage gyms, they're expensive, right? I mean, buying all of the equipment is pretty pricey. Having the space and the privilege to have room to do it is also really hard. However, I want you guys to know that when I created this garage gym, I didn't do it with my own out-of-pocket money. I didn't dip into my savings account. I didn't save up for 6 months to be able to do this. What I did was I became a personal trainer. I want to share my story of how I even became a personal trainer, because I was working in corporate 9-to-5 job. I was in sales and marketing for like, I don't know, 7, 8 years at this point. I decided to kind of leave all of that behind and go on my own and attempt to start my own business. I did this without knowing pretty much anything. I also didn't have to spend any money up front to start this business, which was really, really cool. So it's not like I had to dump a whole lot of my own investment into it outside of like time and energy. So I want to share with you how you can do the same thing if it's something that you're interested in. It doesn't even have to be personal training related. Like if you have a different passion, this also can still apply. And so I'm going to walk you through how I did it and how you can do it too. For about a year or two before that, I was pretty active on my Instagram account and I was posting workout videos. It was something that obviously I was like obsessed with at the time. I put a lot of effort into working out, showing my workouts, motivating people. I didn't have a huge following by any means. I was not an influencer. I think I had like 1,000 followers, and that is what pushed me in this direction. So first things first, find something that you're passionate in. If it's not personal training, I'm sure it's something else. What are different things that you can do for free that just show people that this is something you like doing? Most people are probably gonna use social media as the answer. It's free. All it does is require some investment of your time, energy, and effort. It doesn't cost us any money to post. And it's the best way to let people around you, your friends, your family, know that this is something you like to do. And then you'll become known for that thing. So I did that for about a couple years. I got a DM on Instagram actually, and it was from a private personal training gym. I hadn't thought about this as an opportunity. I thought most people just go to a big box gym. I wasn't about that. When a personal trainer wants to go work at Gold's Gym, LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness, whatever gym is around, you're basically an employee. They may charge someone $65 an hour for personal training. You only get to maybe keep like 30% of that. If you were to Google it right now, it's a really wide range. It's like 30% to 60%. So let's just take like a standard 45%. Just like meet in the middle. Even 45% is less than half of what they're paying. So if the session's like $60, you're not even getting $30 for that. I understand that it gives you experience working with a wide population group. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to control my own clientele. I had a very specific vision of the people that I wanted to work with, and they were people that were like me 5 years ago. If you're working at a gym, you have no power over who you work with. You can get a range from like a 16-year-old to a 70-year-old, right? And you're gonna have very, very different things that you need to do with each one of them to deliver the goals that they have. So on top of not making the money that you want, you're also not working with the people that you want. To me, it was about the freedom of having time in my day and the freedom to work with whoever I want and have, build a community of people around me that I actually liked and enjoyed being around. Suffice it to say, big box gym was not my thing. So I discovered private personal training gyms. It's basically like you're renting out a gym. You have all the same equipment that you would in a box gym, but you have to work on bringing in your own leads. Yes, it requires you to have a little bit of knowledge in sales, be a person who's confident in knowing that you're gonna get clients, you're gonna get leads. You have a system in place for that. In the first 6-7 months, I did so well. I felt really confident about pursuing this full time. And I'm gonna share with you here the numbers. I'm only showing 7 months simply because COVID hit in March and things got really weird. So in my first month, I started September 2019. I got 3 clients and I was so happy. I was just like through the roof. So I went from 3 clients to 7 clients. And then I got all the way to like 14 clients. And at that point I was like, okay, I'm really busy. But I was really happy with the trajectory of things. And then COVID hit. So we're not going to talk about that right now, but the idea here is to show you that personal training specifically for women who I knew exactly who to speak to, I knew how they work, I know what their struggles were, I know what they feel, right? And I was able to communicate that. And I think when you first start a business, the first thing you need to do is go local. It's great that we all want like these online businesses. Trying to bank on like a YouTube channel, for example, when you need quick money is not gonna be it. What I did was I went to Facebook groups. I reached out to girls who had the tag Austin or had that same area. I lived in an apartment complex that had a gym. And so I think that that's really important to note is no matter what type of career that you want to build for yourself, you want to focus on being local first because that's where you're going to get the quick wins. And the important thing to notice here that I really want to stress is the private gym cost versus a big box gym. So as you can see from the breakdown, the first row is going to show what's left over every month after I pay my rent. 45 is pretty good, right? I don't know if that actually equates to that $20 an hour that I was seeing all over Google, but if you look at it, the first month, yeah, I have more in my pocket. I have $605 left in my pocket versus $500 that's left in my pocket from the private gym. However, the more clients that I was getting, second month, I was able to hold on to $2,030, whereas in a big box gym, I would have been left with $1,447. And that number just keeps going, and it's just kind of crappy. I don't know if I would have done the same thing if I had the only option of going to a private or going to a big box gym. Now, the other question of certifications and all of that, I'll be honest, I used the funds from my first month training to get certified. Now, getting a certification can come from a wide variety of sources. I went with NASM because they are one of the more well-respected ones. They're a little bit harder to pass. No client has ever asked me, by the way, do you have a cert? However, to me, I felt like getting a cert in a credible company was the best thing I could do, right? It made me feel more confident, even just to be able to know that I have that knowledge. It was almost $1,000, or I think it was a little over $1,000 to get that cert. Keep in mind, I had my full-time job and I had $1,000 extra. I put that all into investing in myself that first month. And I was really excited about it because I got to learn everything I needed to know. I was able to educate people more. I was able to use that content in my social media. Like, there are a lot of ways to utilize that to just get your name out there and look more credible. I didn't have like an exercise science degree. I wasn't like this athlete growing up. I think that's something that people resonated with, but a lot of personal trainers typically go that route. They will have an exercise science degree or a kinesiology degree. They go work at a big box gym. They start posting on social media. Maybe at the end of that, maybe they go mobile. They go and work out at people's houses, and they're online now. They're online fitness coaches. There's different paths for everyone. After a few months, I was training at the private gym, but I lived at an apartment complex at the Domain, which is very walkable, and it was like this little downtown area kind of thing. My apartment had 3 gyms. I ended up having a lot of clients within that area because within the Domain, there's like hundreds, maybe not hundreds, but there was a lot of apartment complexes. Like, imagine if you live in an apartment and all you have to do is walk downstairs and you have a private personal trainer working with you at your home apartment gym. And so for a long time, that's what I depended on, is just working out of the apartment gym, and I didn't have to pay any rent. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to do this. To be completely honest, I don't know if that was like the right thing to do. I think I'm a hustler. It's not like I had a class full of 30 people that I was like following around the gym and I wasn't taking up space. It would be like you and a friend going to work out together. That's kind of the vibe. That's what I did for a long time, and I got to keep $600 in my pocket. I really valued YouTube at that time. YouTube was my saving grace, and I had very specific people that I would follow from like educated sources, and I would learn so much from them about proper technique and form and workout building. I bought books. I have multiple books. This is probably my favorite one. I had my NASM book. I had different options to keep learning. As long as you are constantly learning yourself, and apply that to yourself first. I mean, that's like the best firsthand experience, right? You're hands-on, you're working with yourself, and then you teach that to other people. I was able to build this garage gym. The idea was I'm going to train up north. I'm going to start building my people down south. So I figured I would just build this and maintain that relationship for a bit longer. But I had a lot of them who were willing to come down south. Some of them who kind of lived in the area or had other reasons to come down. And I was very, very grateful for that. So I kind of balanced this weird world for a while, and I used some of those funds to put into this home gym. I thought the home gym would be helpful for content creation. I thought it was going to be great for me to work out. And actually during COVID, it ended up becoming a saving grace, because while most gyms had to close down, I just had to open the door and it was just me and them. One, they really loved the privacy. I didn't think I was going to get that answer a lot. They loved the privacy of having the gym. It was open air, so a lot of gyms would move outside to do workouts. We already had that capability and it really worked out. So the people that could came there, and then the other people we did online for a while. Yeah, I would just say that no matter what job you choose, what pathway, what product, what service you offer, you need to be adaptable. You need to be able to kind of like navigate. And if you notice, like, yeah, personal training is a local thing, right? You want people within a 5-mile radius of you to find you, because nobody's gonna drive an hour to go work out. I want you to apply that same concept to everything. Like, stay local, try to build your name local before you try to go out online. And the best way to build local is Facebook. Facebook groups within your city or town or whatever were golden for me. Like, I would post a post in there saying like, hey, are there any women who are interested? I would put my before and afters of my clients in there, and I got a lot of responses from that. So I would highly recommend thinking like in those aspects. And then even something like door to door, like I kind of built my own little flyer. I printed it out on my own printer paper. And then through my neighborhood, I worked with a lot of neighbors. And I think that that was really cool, because one, it allowed me to meet my neighbors. Two, like these people just had to walk down the street to come to me. It was a win-win for everyone. So, right, like think about things like that when you start building something yourself. I'm all about experimenting. I'm all about just trying whatever interests you and think outside the box a little bit, be able to adapt. You don't have to do it the way everyone does it. Everyone's just different in why they do the things that they do. If you can find a private personal training gym, I don't think there's a whole lot of them around, which is very unfortunate. I mean, hey, maybe that's a good business opportunity. If there are none around, start one yourself. Everything I've done in this business has been profit. I personally think the investment was really, really good. I spent about $1,000 on the cert. I spent about $4,000 on the gym itself. I also had insurance. I've also dabbled in online personal training. So yeah, that's kind of the background of my story. I hope that that interests you. If there's anything that I left out that you're dying to know about starting a personal training business, please let me know down below, and I'd be happy to answer you guys and share more, details about my journey and whatever else you're interested in. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for sticking around. Talk to you soon.